Hi everybody. Okay, so this piece is called "I'm Sorry." I actually read this piece from my husband and from my daughter, and my daughter was like, "Ma, you gotta record that piece. You gotta record that piece." So I'm being obedient. Go figure. Um, I hope that you guys get something from this piece. I hope that it's something that you can share with others, that others will be able to hear the truth in it. There will be a short video after this to kind of expound on something that I say in the piece. So if you get a chance, also please look at that. I think that is very important as well. So here's the piece. I am sorry. I wanted to write you a letter. A letter to say, well, that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they laid before you death and you ingested it with your eyes and your ears, and so it is spewed out of your mouth. That somehow they convinced you that you could be empowered by calling yourself a bitch because you were taking the word back. It's sad because it seems like only black folk and women seem to have fallen for that line. Use a homophobic slur and watch your behind get fined. They refuse to embrace the derogatory and call it mine. But I digress. On with my apology, which I am truly offering solemnly. See, I am sorry that they made you feel that life was to be lived in the opposite way. You know, that face the camera behind first was the way to alleviate the low self-esteem curse. And that the bigger and the rounder your butt was and the smaller your waist needed to be so that you could attract them and keep them and not feel unworthy. The problem with that is, with your backside facing forward, they never got to see the beauty of your heart. And so they would take what was shown, lay it down, and break the gift of you into a million parts. And for that, I am sorry. I am sorry that your father never failed to see you as his princess. And so you were ill-equipped to see any man as his king, much less be his queen. And it was easier to be his boo, his girl, his wifey. Pause. What the heck is a wifey anyway? I mean, how can you turn a noun and a verb into an adjective that acts as a noun? Confused? Well, yeah, so am I. I mean, either you are or you aren't a wife. And that starts in a heart. And it takes steps to commit to that. And see, if you're not willing and neither is he, then please stop running around and being party to the ignorant. Because, see, it's a ministry and so many people aren't getting it. But, okay, I digress. Pause. I'm sorry that you have settled for accepting titles that are beneath you, hold them dear to you because you want them to be true, and then you fall apart when they do, and for that I am sorry. I'm sorry that your mind has dumbed down from the time of birth, fighting between the supposed power of the skirt and the sexist discrimination, and it's hurt. And if your skin happens to have some color to it, baby, that hurt is double. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your mothers and your aunts and your cousins and your sisters and your grandmothers are infected as well, and so they too can tell you less about how to succeed and more about how to fail. That they push that education and money mantra down your throat in hopes that you'll steer away from their downhill slope, but they practice self-denial in actions, and you hear that louder than you do anything else because there's an absence of satisfaction. And you chase that dream of having it all, except all kicks you when you were down and leaves you with less of a walk and more of a crawl. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Wayne's "I Wanna Screw Every Girl in the World" had a catchy tune. I mean, maybe then it would have disgusted you. That you were so insignificant in his eyes that you were one more pair of panties to slide down thighs, and that your friend could be next. And that way he could decide which one of you was the best. Like you was some equivalent to a wet t-shirt hot dog eating contest. And I'm sorry that Too Short and Dr. Dre and NWA all somehow felt that they had something worth to say. And so did the masses, who were more interested in the tightness of your jeans than the fact that you had your masters. That many are waiting on the second part of the chronic and calling these rappers iconic. And I wonder if maybe they are silent because they want to have grown beyond it. Wouldn't that be ironic? This music industry needs a colonic. And for that, I'm sorry. Truly, I am. I am sorry that they made lovemaking into a hunt for the next orgasm. Because, see, in the pursuit of that, the whole act has become tragic, as though intimacy is somehow developed by magic. See, you lose your sex appeal real quick if you fall for the slick. Because, see, then it's just about a short fix of stick and lick. And then they call him the pimp and you the trick. And it makes me even more sorry that you got someone telling you to think like a man but act like a lady. As though thinking like a lady is somehow inferior to the thoughts of a man. They want to steal the yin from the yang and wonder where the balance is gone. Always crying, where did we go wrong? Write me a letter and I'll tell you some more lies right after this song. And I'm sorry that they made you feel insecure. You too dark, you need to stay out the sun. Girl, you light bright, you need you some color. Your nose is too big, your smile is too wide. Girl, you ain't got no tail back there. Man, you got butt for days. Dang, girl, your boobs so big you could use them for flotation devices. Ma, where your chest at? Oh, that's right, you part of the itty bitty. Yeah, you know the rest. And they picked apart your body from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. And they made you ashamed of looking in the mirror at what you saw. And see, we ran in the opposite direction. And now we've gone too far. Confused and misunderstood, we embraced the sex cells. And we fell into fear's trap. And I am so sorry. I'm sorry that you woke up early every Sunday morning just to sit in pews and be ripped apart and torn, to be criticized by the very souls who should have understood, but see, their hats were too big from being supposedly oh so good. If you act a certain way, then you a Jezebel and you need to repent. And wait a minute, I got an altar right underneath this tent. And then they failed themselves to be real, tried to hide their sins while they were running you over with the holiness wheel. And you felt more ashamed and less saved and decided, nah, baby girl, there's got to be another way. And for that, I'm sorry. And see, everywhere you turn, you receive less truth and more pain, until there was never any sunshine and always there was rain. And you finally decided that the truth must be wrong and the lies right. And so you became blinded with 20/20 sight. And that, my dear, I am sorriest for. That you cannot see your beauty because you are too focused on your booty. That you can't see your grace because you are more concerned with the racial aspects of your face. That you cannot see mercy because you're trying to figure out whether or not you fall underneath the category of fat or curvy. That you cannot see your heart because you are crucifying it in hopes for being the one that wins this losing game, who ends up buried under years of self-hatred and shame, and yet you're embracing it all the same. And I am sorry, so very sorry, that you cannot see love for yourself. And so you die identity, purpose, passion, gift, and life wholly intact upon a useless shelf, having to continually say to someone else, I am sorry. And that's that piece.
Thank you for allowing me to see myself the way you see me. Thank you.